Last week, we tried to beat the Wii classic New Super Mario Bros. Wii without touching a single block. Well, guess what? Today, we are attempting the exact same challenge, but with the sequel, New Super Mario Bros. U. The rules are actually pretty simple. We are going to be playing the game from World 1 to World 8, hopefully, and we have to avoid touching everything that could be considered a block, like those brick blocks, or maybe those donut blocks, or those question mark blocks. You get the gist. Are we going to be able to clear this challenge and become champions? That's what we'll find out. World 1-1 starts off with a nice squirrel that can give us a lovely super acorn. Oh, wait a minute. As I was saying, you can get a super acorn from this dude, which will prove to be quite helpful to dodge the blocks all over the place. Oh, and at the end, you'll notice that this staircase to the flagpole is made out of blocks. Ugh. 1-2 contains a few blocks, but we can easily dodge them if we're being careful. Once again, near the end, you'll have to be super creative and do a wall jump to get above all of those yucky staircase of blocks. 1-tower was super easy and reaching the top was quick. 1-3 normally features our friend Yoshi, but since he's hiding inside of question mark blocks, well, we won't meet him today. 1-4 is full of mushroom platforms, but it doesn't feature that many blocks. 1-5 doesn't put any blocks in your way, just like 1-castle, and soon we'll beat the boss and we'll be ready to move on. World 2-1 features sand geysers and big weird looking statues, but it doesn't feature a single block. 2-2 is a bit more tricky, as you'll need to navigate your way through the pokies, the blocks, and the sand geysers. This will lead to some scary looking jumps, but if you're being careful, it's possible to beat it. 2-3 takes place in the dark, so you'll have to move slowly to avoid getting surprised by a spooky hidden block. 2-tower does feature a few blocks on your way to the top, but thankfully, the super acorn makes climbing this tower quite fast and efficient. 2-4 was a bit tricky, featuring a bunch of spikes standing on top of those dangerous question mark blocks. Not only do I have to dodge the blocks, but I also have to dodge their attacks now. 2-5 does feature a lot more spikes throwing stuff at you, but way less blocks, making it quite easy. 2-6 was a bit more difficult because I lost my acorn suit right at the beginning. Thankfully, I also managed to get inside of a cloud, which helped clear the stage. 2-castle was not too difficult, and soon the stage was cleared and Morton was gone. World 3-1 was pretty simple, featuring a couple blocks here and there, but none on the way. 3-2 takes place underwater, leaving us plenty of room to dodge the blocks on the way. 3-tower was actually pretty tricky, featuring tons of blocks all over the place. Trust me, you'll want to have an acorn suit to be able to fly to the top without touching a single one. Those skewers were also quite tricky, so your timing will have to be just right. 3-ghost house features blocks that actually try to attack you. Dang, those blocks are getting more and more aggressive now. Dodge them all and you'll be good. 3-3 was pretty simple, but 3-4 was annoying. You truly need a super acorn to avoid touching the multiple blocks on your way, and you also have to keep it until the very end. Avoid those Urkins and you'll be good. 3-5 wasn't too complicated. As long as you avoid the sea dragon, everything will be good. We can now make our way to 3-castle, which was surprisingly simple. World 4-1 is up, and it does contain a bunch of blocks all over the place, but I still managed to dodge them by doing spin jumps and gliding to safety. 4-2 is pretty much the same, with many blocks that you have to be careful not to touch, but that can also be avoided easily. 4-tower was a super simple level, and 4-3 wasn't particularly difficult either. 4-4 features one tricky section that is full of blocks, and you'll absolutely need a super acorn to clear it, but beside that, it was easy. 4-5 was full of icicles, but it was also lacking in blocks. 4-ghost house contains a bunch of blocks, but we can turn them into coins by pressing the P switch. However, as soon as we reach this room, I noticed a big problem. We have to enter one of those doors, but in order to do so, we have to touch some yucky blocks. Uh-oh. Well, looks like this path cannot be used, but thankfully, as we already cleared World 3 earlier, well, we can already make our way to World 5 Soda Jungle. 5-Airship was a pretty simple auto-scroller stage, and the boss was also quite easy. 5-1 was actually filled to the brim with blocks. Small blocks, big blocks, brick blocks, question mark blocks, blocks everywhere! Trust me, you'll absolutely want to have your super acorn ready, and you'll need to bounce on tons of enemies to make your way to the end of it alive and blockless. Thankfully, it is possible to do it. 5-2 also contains a lot of blocks, forcing us once more to have a super acorn if we actually want to reach the end alive. 5-3 is full of bramball enemies, which I hate quite a lot, and it's also home to a bunch of blocks appearing out of nowhere. What an annoying stage, especially near the end where you absolutely have to touch those donut blocks if you want to clear this path. Yeah, this stage isn't possible. But it's on a split path, meaning that we can still get to the next one. And as you can probably guess, a level called Snake Block Tower will probably not be very easy to beat without touching a block. Heck, we can't even enter the pipe to get to the actual snake block without touching one of those big brick blocks. Well, here goes another dead end. Are we in trouble yet? Well, no, as we can go back to World 3 and try to get to a secret exit. And thankfully, there's one located in 3-Ghost House hidden over there, and it leads us to World 6. Well, right after we clear 3-Leaf, which is actually super easy and free of yucky blocks. World 6-1 is full of those stretching blocks, which we obviously cannot touch, meaning we'll have to do some very scary jumps with the squirrel suit, including this one at the end. Those fuzzies can be truly dangerous. 6-2 doesn't feature that many blocks, but eventually you'll reach this path full of donut blocks. Oh, now this is it. We're done for. Psych! We can just fly above this obstacle by going out of the screen on top! Yes! 6-Tower wasn't very difficult, and 6-3 wasn't either. 6-4 starts off by putting us on a light block. Ugh. Oh wait, it's on a split path, who cares? 6-5 did contain a few blocks, but they could all be easily avoided. 6-Tower number 2 does contain a few music blocks we normally have to jump on, but with the squirrel suit, well, we can avoid those. 6-7 was super easy, and 6-Castle wasn't too bad. World 7-1 will feature a lot of blocks popping up in front of you, but you can always duck under them or glide above them to avoid touching a single one. 7-2 didn't feature that many blocks on the way, and 7-3 was also pretty simple, provided you have the squirrel suit to dodge the staircase of blocks. 7-Tower was a very easy level, but the boss fight against Kamek proved to be a bit of an annoyance to me. You actually start by appearing on the blocks, which is part of the cutscene, so it's out of my control, but after that, you kinda have to touch them to fight Kamek. Unless you have the P-Acorn, which actually lets you fly infinitely. Haha, my secret card. 7-Ghost House was pretty simple, and I got through the secret exit, leading me right to 7-Castle, which was actually super simple. 7-Airship was a total joke, and once again, the boss takes place on a bunch of block-looking platforms. Ugh, this is so annoying. Time to bust out the P-Acorn once again and jump off the blocks as soon as the fight starts. 3 ground pounds later, and we're off to the final world. World 8-1 featured a lot of blocks, but the fireballs falling from the sky can actually break them, which is quite helpful. 8-2 takes place on a raft, but there's no blocks on our way. 8-3 was super easy to clear, and 8-Tower wasn't too bad. There was this one section with like a bazillion blocks, but we can just hit that P-switch to turn them into coins to get through easily. Welcome to 8-Bowser, the final stage, and it's actually quite easy, provided you dodge Junior's relentless attacks. The fight against Bowser is actually pretty simple, and there are absolutely no blocks on the way, so this will be cleared quite fast, and the princess will be safe and sound. Yes, it is possible to beat New Super Mario Bros. U without touching a single block. Besides a few roadblocks here and there, well, this challenge was actually pretty simple. Thanks a lot for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more challenges, well, tap the cards on screen right now, and as for me, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!